All right, now we can start the video. All right, oh, we folk know. Can you focus on me? Hello again, all of my beautiful future MDs and DOs. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking about interviews. Now, before we start, I'm gonna need y'all to relax. Just relax. I'm sure y'all already got heart palpitations and stuff. Just think about the interview. Just take deep. All right, the interviews are not that bad. I promise you. If you just listen to me real quick, I have some do's and don'ts for y'all. So let's get started. You know, I got my notes right here. Biggest don't, number one, because I know y'all be doing this and it shows. Do not memorize the answers to the questions. Now, you may think that that is a productive way of going about things, but sis, bro, let me tell you, that's not the move, because you're gonna sit there, they're gonna ask you a question, you're gonna start thinking like, looking up. That's another thing. Don't look up, because it looks like you're looking for an answer. Like, where, God, hello? It's right here. And it's practice. So I'm already giving y'all other do's and don'ts. Instead of memorizing things, I would jot down like the big picture when you answer a question. Say, so tell me about yourself. List a few things, a few bullet points that you want to hit, but don't be writing down sentences. It's not the move. Please don't do that, okay? Next one. Which I just said it. I just said, please chill with the ums, the likes, the uhs, especially the likes, because those are the worst. And y'all should know that by now. But instead, take a pause. Just pause for a second. Gather your thoughts. You can say, hey, can I have a second to think about it? May I have a moment to think about my answer? Sure. 99.9% of the time, they're going to say, okay. I've never ran into an instance where they said no. So it's like, well, you want me to just, what, you gonna step to the next question? Like, what we doing? So take a second, gather your thoughts, relax. Don't do the ums and the likes and the uhs and look. Please don't do that. Don't be late. I should have said that first. Please don't be late. Y'all know the saying. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. And y'all know what late is. Unacceptable. Don't be late. All right, but that's just common sense. Common sense is not always common, so I had to put that out there. What else? Don't wear anything like flashy or trying to stand out, because let me tell you, they already like you. You feel me? They already like you. They like how you look on paper. They like your grades. They like your experiences, whatever. You seem cool. You seem like you could be a nice potential doctor, okay? So don't try to stand. You already stood out, okay? You just have to maintain how they think about you. Just please, the whole different color, you know, be professional, be business professional. Grays, navies, and blacks. Stick with those. The smells too, the perfumes and the colognes, don't relax. Chill on that for a little bit. You can smell nice, but don't be spraying like how they did back in middle school when the guys would pull up with the axe and that's all. Don't do that. Don't have your phone out. It's just something about that level of professionalism where I do not think you should have your phone out at any time of the day unless it's an emergency. Even if you have to check the time, wear a watch. Hello. But of course, you should not do that in the actual interview. But if you didn't know, it's a whole day. So you're talking to different students, you're talking to the admissions committee, financial advisor, you're going on a tour. Just try to limit the amount of time you're on your phone, because it seems like you're not really interested. So you should be very excited, okay? That's another thing. Don't be all like standoffish and all shy, like, ooh. No, you better talk. You better talk to people, okay? The last interview I was on, we had lunch, right? We had the opportunity to talk to like 2 different med students. I think they were second years. You could ask them anything. Like, it had nothing to do with, you know, if you'd be accepted or anything. Nobody in the admissions committee was actually there in the room. And like, people were just like, So I'm like, I have a question. I have a question. Like, that's a good way to stand out. Now, don't cut people off or anything. You know, when you give an answer, if you have a question, let them talk, because patience, professionalism, come on, y'all. Gotta keep up with the times. Everything counts. From the time you walk in, whether you're finding parking or asking people for directions, like, first impressions matter. Now I'm going on a whole different tangent because I was not talking about first impressions. But you need to be if you have to fake it a little bit, you better fake it. Do you want to go to med school? Do you want to be a doctor? Okay, you're going to have to fake it a little time. Fake it till you make it sometimes, okay? And that's all right. Gotta be, you know, personality. Speak to people. Say hello. Oh, that's my lip gloss. Say hello. Ask people questions. Tell people about yourself. Like, hey, how are you? You know, what was your major? Or, you know, just start chatting because you seem personable. You seem like you aren't shy. You can talk to anyone, and that's a good quality to have. All right, so let's do that. Let's think. What else? Don't wing it. You need to practice. I don't care how many interviews you've had in the past. Medical school interviews are different. This is not a job interview. Because it's one thing to, you know, write down things or mentally note certain things that you're going to say. But once you translate that into actual words and articulate what you got to say, sometimes it don't always reflect what you had in your head. I think that is it for the don'ts. All right, now we're going to do the do's. Be yourself. Now, before I run off with this, be the best version of yourself. Now, I'm not saying that you're not a good person, that you're, you know, but I need you to be the best version of yourself, okay? Being yourself is great. You're comfortable, but sometimes you're a little too comfortable and you start saying some things that you don't need to say, and that's not the move. So be the best version of yourself, all right? Next, show excitement. That goes into my last don't about don't be standoffish. Show excitement. You want to be a freaking doctor, don't you? You want to go to this school, don't you? I would expect you to be excited. I wouldn't think that you would not want to go to the school if you're at this interview, but that's none of my business. Moving on. Practice, like I said. Please practice. Please have mock interviews with, like, don't let it be your friends either, unless they're pretty mature and know the level of professionalism you're trying to attain, and they know a little bit about medical school interviews, whether you have to give them a little 411 before y'all do this mock interview. But you may want to ask a professor, you may want to ask a doctor. Yeah, you may want to ask a doctor, because guess what? They've been through it probably multiple times, getting into school, getting into residency, getting their first job. Like, they have experience. So ask another doctor. You also may want to ask a current med student or a resident, because it wasn't that long ago that they've done this before. So you want honest opinions. Don't be scared of, constructive criticism. Don't be scared of that, because there's always room for improvement. So please practice. Another one, a big one. Tie your answers back to medicine. You don't want to just show that I dibbled and dabbled a little bit of this. I did a little bit of this. In college, I was on this committee. I helped pick up trash one day volunteering. Like, those are just random things. You need to tie your experiences to medicine, whether it's like a certain skill that you developed in that experience that you can, you know, use during your career as a doctor. You could say that, oh, I played this sport for so-and-so years and I love being a part of team, and it shows I can, you know, I have effective communication. I know how to delegate different tasks and work together and balance different ideas. Teamwork makes the dream work, all right? Oh, this is a big one. You need to know your application. You need to know your primary and your secondary applications, because they're going to look at some things and be like, oh, so tell me about this experience when you blah, blah, blah. Or your personal statement says blah, blah, blah. Can you clear this up for me? I hope you didn't lie in your application. But if you did, like I said, that's none of my business. I will sip my coffee. Shout out to Dunkin' Donuts. The way to my heart. You feel me? But yeah, please don't lie. don't lie in your application, because sometimes they will have open file interviews and you're gonna have to talk about the application and elaborate and all that good stuff. So know your applications, all right? Ask questions during the interview day. Ask anybody questions. It could be, don't try to make up some stuff, but if you're genuinely interested, things are gonna pop up in your head. You're not gonna know all the answers to everything. You can't find all that on the website. You do wanna ask things that you can't necessarily see on the website, or maybe you want like more in-depth details of what they touched on the website. Ask questions, because they're gonna, it's not even like you're being annoying, but they're gonna remember your face. They're gonna remember, oh, he or she was very interested in blah, blah, blah. They seemed like they'd be good for blah, like whatever. Recognize your nervous habits. So that is where practicing comes into play. If you have a mock interview with someone, they're gonna notice everything you're doing, because I mean, they just looking at you the entire time, and you're not even gonna know. You may want to even practice in front of a mirror. It's not as realistic, but it's a start, because when you get nervous, you might start, you know, twiddling your fingers. You may start looking up and everywhere and can't make eye contact. You might start stuttering. You maybe could be fidgeting with like your foot, I don't know, or like clicking the pen or something. Oh, smile, you know, be nice. Be nice to people. They always say, be nice to everyone. And it's like, yeah, be nice. You don't have to be OD about it. Don't, like I said, you can fake it till you make it, but don't act like someone else. That's the thing. Getting back to, you know, be yourself, be the best version of yourself. It's kind of twofold. So like, be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to, oh my gosh, don't try to use big words. Oh, because you're going to sound dumb, because you don't even know what you're talking about. If you don't use these words on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis, you're gonna sound ignorant. Let's say that. You're gonna make a fool of yourself because you're trying to use all these big words, trying to sound smart, but clearly you're already smart enough if you got into the interview. Like I said, it's not that deep. I promise you it's not. Guys, sorry, I forgot to make an outro for this video, but thank you so much for watching. I really hope it helped. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.